Hello everyone, so today I'm getting an exclusive look at the new Ristretto 512 First Edition. All right, so I am at the Ristretto headquarters and I'm riding the new 512 820 in Arctic colorway. But the reason why I'm here is because in the next room, they have new 512s on display. And I want to show you all the colors, but also talk about the specs of the 820 and 824 before we go on a test drive. At the end of this video, I'm going to be doing a long in-depth review of the 512, so make sure you stick around. But also in the description, there will be timestamps so you can follow along. Let's go check them out. All right, so like I said, I was riding the Arctic in 820, but you'll notice right here that the Arctic has a gray decal of the 512, and then in the front, you have a Ristretto badge. Now, they all have the same badge, but this is actually the green Schusterman in 820, and then this is the Black Pantera in 824. So if you come over here, it's actually kind of hard to tell the difference between the green Schusterman and then the Black Pantera in this type of lighting. But the one telltale sign is actually the gold decal right here, as well as the gold stitching along the seat. On the Black Pantera, you actually kind of have this matte finish to the seat, as well as completely black stitching. And then it looks to be like a dark blue or a really kind of gray with a blue hint on the 824 Black Pantera. The only color that they don't have right now is the bronzo, so I can't show you guys that. So when analyzing the spec sheet of the 820 and the 824, these are virtually the same. On the 820, you will have a bit more torque when accelerating due to the wheel size. But the range, the connectivity to the Bluetooth Smart app, the classic ride modes, the throttle, the frame material, and the rear shocks are all the same. So if you're on the edge of switching between the 824 and the 820, that will not make a difference in performance of the bike. Where you will notice a difference is when you analyze the 820 and the 824 dimension sheets. So when you compare these side by side, you will notice a bit of difference in the dimensions, but also the wheel size. The 820 has 20-inch wheel size, and then the 824 has 24-inch wheel size. So I've got my helmet as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get some test drive footage for you guys right here. All right, I do want to mention that I'm using the 820 in green Schusterman. Also, I will have it in miles per hour, not kilometers. You do have the option to change it to kilometers, but since we're in the United States, we're gonna go by miles per hour. At the end of this video, like I said, I do have a review, and I will be using the 824 Black Pantera, so you guys can check that out. So let's get going. Now, with only 400 units per model and 800 in total, I think this makes it pretty limited edition compared to other bikes. Now for power, Ristretto introduced us this year to the new Catalina battery pack. They placed it directly in the center of the bike as they claim this provides the best weight distribution. So that means basically when you ride this, you're going to get a pretty stable ride. So inside the battery, you have 84 Samsung 50E cells surrounded by an aluminum alloy casing. This battery is also equipped with a dual safety BMS fuse mode to protect you from overcharging and over discharging. So I can't show you because it's actually under the battery, but integrated in design, there's an Apple AirTag anti-theft slot to protect you from theft. And it's also compatible with Android tracking devices. Now in terms of range, Ristretto advertises that this has about 100 miles of range and pedal assist and then about 45 miles in full throttle. Now I think this makes it great for any commuter or an experienced rider that wants to go quite a bit of distance. So one of my favorite things about this bike is the design. The actual architectural design follows what Ristretto calls lightweight philosophy. Basically meaning it's designed to maximize your strain ratios using 6061 T6 aluminum. When you put that together, you're met with one of the highest levels of quality, but also durability, and while maintaining a great center of gravity. Pretty neat. So up front in the cockpit, in the middle of the handlebars, you have a 3.5-inch waterproof LCD display. This is where you can navigate through the menus and pretty much control the entire bike. And upon turning on the bike, you're met with a pretty neat light sequence. So on the left-hand side, you actually have the new Ristretto Master Controller. Each bike is equipped with a horn, a light switch, a turn signal, your power button, and here is where you can adjust your levels. And your front tire brake. So coming over to the right side, you have a fully functioning throttle and your rear tire brake. So up front, you also have 3000 lumen waterproof LED headlights surrounded by an aluminum casing. Now, these things are incredibly bright. I tested this thing at night, and you honestly don't have to worry about cars just because of how bright they are. You can change this if you want to, but I truly don't think that you will need to. So right under it, you also have an aluminum fender and on the back side as well. Now the front of the bike is supported by a D&M USD 8-fat inverted fork suspension system. Now I believe they picked this suspension system because it's specifically designed for a heavier bike like this. Now these bikes actually come fine-tuned, but there are knobs right here at the top where you can easily adjust these to your liking. Now the back of the bike actually has dual suspension, and just like the front of the bike, these can be fine-tuned specifically to your liking. So now let's talk power. Ristretto teamed up with CYC Motors to equip this with the X1 Pro Gen 3 mid-drive motor, giving you 4,500 watts of peak power and 250 Newton meters of torque. With a custom drivetrain and torque sensing, you now have that natural feel when accelerating. Now, in terms of speed, the controller offers two different options. The first one being street mode, which goes up to 28 miles per hour. And then the second mode is what Ristretto calls race mode, which goes up to 40 miles an hour. But race mode is only designed for private property. Also, now if you download the Ristretto app, you can connect to your bike via Bluetooth, where you can control pretty much your entire bike, like your modes, your power level, your pedal assist levels, and much more. With that being said, I would also like to present you the code SQUADRA, where you can get 15% off your very own 512. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.